Wow. Gladiators, hello. Wow, wow, and wow. I am honored to be here. We'll let you guys all the way at the back. Hello, everybody. All the way at the front. Hello. Welcome. Are we having a good time? Give it up for Adam, who just introduced me. The kid's like 19 years old. He's done more than I've done in my whole life, and he's 19. It's crazy. All right, so welcome to the Gladiator Summit #2. I saw this last year, and I thought how incredible it was. And I linked up with Darush recently, and the guy's absolutely amazing. Give him a big round of applause for putting this on as well. Him and I caught up, and we had a chat, and I said I'd be honored to be able to be on this stage. So I'm not going to come up here and tell you what you should do, what you're doing wrong. I'm going to tell you things that I've learned along the way in my own journey. And as Adam said, it wasn't $300. I didn't come in with $300. That was something that was like on Dubai Bling. I don't know why that was there. I did come with about 10,000 dirhams to my name when I moved to Dubai 17 years ago. And I'm here to talk about human connection because it's something that we don't do enough of. And as I look in this crowd right now, many of you are here because you want to maybe do something different in your life right now. Maybe you want to achieve something different. Maybe you're in a fork in the road where you're thinking, what should I do? And I was in that position so many times in my life. And so I don't want to consider myself a life coach, a motivational speaker, or anything like that. I just want to share with you my journey of really hitting rock bottom. And when I mean rock bottom, I mean like the worst depression and anxiety that I ever had. And I want to tell you how I got out of that and sort of got to where I am today. So gladiators, are we ready? All right. This is something so important, but we forget to do, and is the basics of being a human being. And we all sit on our phones, and we all do the thumb scrolling, and we all get into bed with our partners, if we have one, and get our phones. The first thing we do in the morning is we usually grab our phone, and we're losing the basics of this, which is eye contact, smile, saying hello, and to project. All right? I got a clap. Thank you. It is the mere basics of being a human. We have been given this by whoever you believe in, eyes, a mouth, our ears, to do certain things in our life. And I've learned over the years that people find it very hard to look someone in the eyes when they walk into a room, to project their voice with a, hey, good morning, good afternoon, how you doing? Many of us work in offices where we don't even greet the people that we see every day. And if we do, it's like this: morning, 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 hi. We are born with a gift, and that gift is us, whatever we call this body. And one of the reasons why I feel like I'm able to do what I get to do every single day of my life, be it talk on the radio, run a snack company, or whatever else that I do, my voice, my eyes, my ears, my nose, it all works as something. So you're in this room right now together. Who's come alone here today? Put your hands up if you've come alone. All right. So there's so many of you alone, and I just want to give you a round of applause for doing that, because that's a big thing on its own. Going out alone. I want you to talk to each other in the room today. And I know many of you have done that at lunch, but there are some people here that haven't. So go out, make sure you talk to each other. Your next opportunity is in this room. It's in the room with you right now. Your next big gig, your next project, your next whatever it is. Like my man here, what's your name?
Tim.
Tim. Say hello to Tim, everybody. This is Tim. You know what I mean? Just the basics of saying hello. You're getting jealous because I didn't say hello to you here, man. I can see. What was your name? Tom. Tim and Tom, everybody, right here. But Tim and Tom have their own journey and their own story, and I want to know that one day. But how do we tell each other our stories if we don't ever open our mouths to tell them? No one's going to come up to you and give a real crap about what you've done. What do you do? Like, they ask the question, that's it. So it's on you to tell them what you're doing, who you are, where you want to go. If you want that promotion, you got to let them know you want that gig. So these basic things I want you to realize. Eye contact, smile, say hello, and project. And I was backstage for the last 45 minutes, and about the 100 photos that I took of people coming up to me, I applaud them. Thank you for making a difference and coming up and saying hello to me. All right? Like, that's a big thing. Some people don't want to do that. This is so cliche, and I hate saying it, but it's so true. And that's why I'm saying in this room right now is your next possible project, is your next step in life. All right? Your network is everything. I can get anything done in this city because of the people that I know. Anything. I know so many people in the UAE that you have a problem, I will be able to get onto my phone and find a solution for you within 10 minutes. And the reason why, it's my network. Over my 17 years living in this country, I have met everybody. And it's a strategy that I make sure that I connect with those people. And I'm not connecting with them because I'm going to use them. It's got nothing to do with that. It's that one day down the line, I may be able to do some business with you. You may be able to do some business with me. I could help you. You could help me. So again, today there are more than 2,000 of you that have paid good money to be here today. Utilize it and grow your network. If you don't save 20 different business cards or phone numbers by the end of today, this is not a successful day for you. Do you guys understand that? Okay? Share your number. Men, do not use it to try to pick up a woman here tonight, okay? But it could possibly happen. This is my journey. A little moment of it. I got 36 minutes. All right. I left Australia in 2007. I grew up as a Lebanese Australian. Any other Lebanese in the building right now? Where you at? I wear something on my wrist that says "Live, Love, Lebanon." So I just want to hold that up proudly right now, okay? And to my Palestinians, I love you too. I grew up a typical Lebanese family, but in Australia, okay? And being in Australia, I didn't want to be Lebanese. I wanted to be that white Australian guy, right? I was sort of embarrassed to be Lebanese. And it's funny, as you come full circle, there's nothing more prouder than me being able to say that I'm Lebanese. I didn't do well at school. I failed. I got a 39 out of 100 in my end of year results, which did not enable me to go to college or to go to university. And the typical Lebanese parents were, you're going to go back to school and do it again, so you go into college, because all of our kids have gone to college within the entire family, and you will be the only one that we've had that's never gone to university. So I didn't do that. I pleaded with mum and dad at the age of 17, I don't want to go and do schooling again. Let me try to find myself. And in a period of 4 to 5 years, I tried to find myself. And that was me just doing all the different jobs I could possibly get to make money, which was, I was a barista. I used to wash cars. Some of you have read this. I used to sell clothes. I was living a young life, but I was enjoying it, and I was finding myself. I was finding out who Kristen George Fade was. That's my name. All right? And it was not till about the age of 23 or 24 that I realized there was a radio position up for grabs of driving the radio car in Sydney. It was a radio promotional job. I used to have to drive the streets and give away cans of soda and chips and freebies. So I decided to apply for this job, and I didn't get the job. But what I did do was I remained in contact with the bosses at the radio station. And after a few months, they called me back and they said, you know what? There is a position. Would you like to take it? I said, you know what? I'm ready to do this. So I spent 2 years driving a radio car around Sydney, giving away free products. My pay every single week was $110, so that's about 300 dirhams a week, and I did that for 2 years. And I remember being in a long-term relationship with a girl that was doing so much better than me, and she left me because she just realized the guy that I'm with is a bit of a dropkick. He's just working as a radio promotional guy, and there is no future. Yeah, man, yeah. She hit me up on Instagram too. Yeah, I'm not even playing. I didn't tell my wife that. Are you guys recording this? But I remember going through this really bad breakup, and I was 24, 25 at the time, and I just thought to myself, wow, life is really hard right now. I'm in a bit of this weird radio job that's really not going anywhere. This job was really for people that were in their early, like sort of 18, 19 years old. Here I am at 24 doing this. Should I be doing it? But what it did give me the access to, my card gave me the access to go to these studios where all the radio presenters were doing their job in Australia. And there were big radio stations there. So what I used to do was go upstairs and I would just sit with the radio presenters and I would become friends with them. And then I asked them, could you just teach me how to do what you guys do? And over a period of a year, I learned the art of what radio was really about. And it was at the age of around 25 that I found myself finally. Who in this room is under the age of 25? Do we have anyone under the age of 25? Okay. Now, keep your hands up if you don't know what you want to do right now. Keep your hands up. So there's still a few of you. This is where I don't want you to worry. Because we're meant to know what we want to do at the age of 17 when we go to college. We've only lived a really small portion of our lives. So for someone like myself who found radio at the age of 25, that's when I realized this is what I want to do for a living. And so I end up working on the radio, and they gave me a little show, and I learned the art of radio. And that was like my real first opportunity that I had. And as I was working in radio, again, I wasn't earning a lot, but I decided to take a risk. And that risk was to work for a company that I absolutely loved even at that age. And that was this guy. Do you guys know Sir Richard Branson? So at 26 years old, I got an email saying, would you like to help start the first Virgin radio station in the Middle East for the Virgin brand? And I was 26 and I was single, and I thought to myself, you know what? Let's give it a go. Let's take a risk. And so I remember telling my mum and dad, hey mum, dad, in the year 2007, I'm going to move to a place called Dubai. There was nothing on Dubai in 2007. There was a Wikipedia page. It was a picture of the Burj Khalifa half built, right? Honestly. And it was like 3 quotes. That's all it had. Who's been in Dubai since then? Yeah, right? You guys know it's a different place than it is now. So the risk was to come out and work for this absolute legend, right? So I came out here with a few other people, and we helped build what today is the biggest radio station, not just in the Middle East, it's one of the top 5 radio stations in the world, right? And that's not only by listeners, that's by the commercials, the inventory, what it makes, and everything else that's involved. But there was a huge risk. I said to myself, do I want to take this leap and come out to a city? And for many of you guys, you are at a point possibly where you need to take a risk. And I want to tell you right now, take the risk. And I know it's a lot harder for some of you that have kids, because I didn't have kids at this stage. Who's got kids in this room? Put your hands up. Yeah, okay. So when you have kids, it's a different dynamic. So I'll talk to the guys without kids, the guys and the girls without children. Take every risk you want to do it, and you do it now, because you're only responsible for yourself. Soon as you start becoming responsible for another little human being, your life is going to change completely. And taking risks are a lot harder. So if you don't have any children and you're thinking about doing something, you are going to do it. Okay? You guys got that? Do it. Don't hold up on that risk. Hold on. We'll get there. When we started Virgin Radio, when I started Fade Fit and everything else, it's about building a brand. I try to summarize this as quick as I possibly could in my head. What do you stand for? When we built Virgin, we knew that there was a gap in this country for a good commercial radio station that represented the city of Dubai and the entire country. So we hired presenters from around the world. We hired presenters that represented the UAE. So we got a presenter from Pakistan, from India, from Canada, America, South Africa, Australian, Lebanese. What else did we have? We had a Sri Lankan presenter when we first started. We basically tried to get a breakdown of what this city stood for, and we built a radio station that had that sound. Because if you're going to build something, you want to make sure it resonates with your audience. So if you're a consumer, or you've got a product, does your product relate to the people you're trying to sell it to? So we had to find out what we stood for. We stood for the city of Dubai. The other thing we wanted to do was we wanted to keep it real. We wanted to be authentic. We wanted to tell real stories. And the one thing that we do on Virgin Radio, especially on my show every morning with Pretty and Rossi and Nala, is we keep it as real as we possibly can. I share so much info on my show that even my mum calls me up and she says, can you stop saying this? It's too much. It's too personal. It's not real. As in, you're sharing so much real content. She believes in the evil eye. You guys know the whole evil eye? She's like, you're putting too much out there. It's going to come back to you and it's not going to be good. And I said, Mama, I feel like I got enough love from people that it breaks down any evil eye that people are sending to me, you know? Saying that, I have the evil eye tattooed right here on my shoulder, just in case, all right? This last one is really important, and it's one of my mentors told me this. And he was my first radio boss back in Sydney. And it says, don't try to be funny or famous. We live in a world right now where social media has taken over and everybody's trying to be famous on it. And the one advice that I can give you is if you try, and I've done this myself, if you try to become famous, you will never become famous. Okay? If you're in whatever you're in because you're trying to get fame, it will never happen. If you're trying to be on this stage because I'm trying to be funny and I'm trying to make a joke, it's not going to resonate the way that I think it's going to come out. You guys aren't going to find it funny. So trying to be famous, trying to be funny, or trying to get into something just to make money, it will never work. There's not one thing that I've got myself into to make money with. The money will come if you're the best at it. Okay? The money will come if you're the best at it. So no matter what you're doing, if you're the best at it, the money will come, the fame will come. And what I mean by fame, fame within your industry. They know that you're the person they need to go to because you're the best at it. It's not about the social media fame. So these three things I live by every single day. But how? Oh, hold on. This slide's in here just for me to like name drop a little bit, all right? See these names of these famous people from Will and The Rock and John Legend and Rita Ora and Ryan Seacrest and all that. The how becomes they now reach out to us here in Dubai because we on our radio show have done such a great job. They call us now. They want us to be represented to promote their films, to promote their products. So a lot of other radio stations want these interviews, but they're not at the standard of where they are that our station does it. So when you become the best at something, all the opportunities come, right? We reject a lot. These come to us because they want our audience. They want our listeners. They want you guys to be able to see it. This is where I want to get a little bit real. And I'm telling you that it's things that I've learned along the way. When I moved to Dubai, I had met my ex-wife only 4 months before moving here. And I remember I got a call from the CEO at the time of the company that I was coming to work for, which was the radio network. And they said to me, well, if you want to move here with your girlfriend, you have to marry her, right? Because it was not allowed to live together if you weren't married. So without telling my parents, I got married to a woman that I only knew for about 5 months. How do you think they liked that? I didn't invite them to the wedding. We didn't have really a wedding. We went to the courts and we got married and we did what we had to do, and I moved to Dubai. And the first 2 years were fantastic, and my ex-wife and I have an amazing relationship now, a better relationship than what we had. But within 2 years, we realized that things weren't going the way that they're meant to go. We had already had 2 children together within the 2.5 years. And it got to the point where I realized and she realized things aren't the way that they're meant to be. I was working on the radio every single day. I was 28 years old at the time, trying to run this radio station with some other guys. Had a lot of pressure on me, didn't have a lot of cash, had 2 kids, was living in a really small sort of 1-bedroom apartment, trying to just find the way to make it all happen. And then that's when I felt these things for the first time: depression and anxiety. And I got up to 128 kilos, right? That was me. And, you know, I say this often, that there are people in this room right now who are suffering from depression and anxiety right now in this room. It could be you, and you could be hearing this and you're trying to hide it. Or it could be someone that's sitting right next to you. The first time I ever experienced anxiety, I thought I was going to die. I had never experienced it in my life. And I had a battle with anxiety and depression for nearly 2 years. And it got so bad that I couldn't, and someone over here told me about it. They had heard me mention this before. It got triggered because of a really certain thing. And it just shows you how powerful our mind is. I got a blocked ear on my right-hand side one day. And for some reason, my mind told me, imagine that this right ear never unblocks. And then it never unblocked for 1 year. And it drove me crazy. And I realized after going to a number of different doctors, doing MRI scans, convincing myself that I had a brain tumor, that this right ear was something that was going to kill me, destroy my voice. I won't have enough money to supply for my children or my wife at the time. And it was this snowball effect that drove me into 100% full-blown anxiety. And I didn't know what that was. I just felt like I was going to die. So I went to a doctor. He sent me to another doctor. He gave me some drugs to take. I started taking those pills, and it really didn't do anything for me. And I just felt I was rock bottom. I was too scared to open the radio studios to do my show. I built this anxiety up so much that I found it really hard to go and do my radio show. And no one knew. So as I was driving to work at 5:15 in the morning, I was having these panic attacks, and I'd have to build myself up just to walk into the show and then, you know, say hi to my fellow workers and then get on the radio and go, hello, Mom, hello, Dad, this is Virgin Radio, good morning. But inside I was like literally crumbling. And I hid this for a good maybe 13 months until I opened up to Pretty Malik, my co-host, and I told her I don't know if I can do this anymore. Like I was dying inside. So again, in this room, some of you are at that point, but I want to tell you, it won't last forever. I'm telling you, it will not, because I had this morbid thought that this was going to be me, my life. I'm done. It won't last forever. You will be okay. And it's okay to tell your friends, some of your family members about it, or people that you believe will help you out. So from depression to anxiety, I then had a divorce, and it was horrible. Because if anyone gone through a divorce in this room, put your hands up. You know how horrible it is, right? It's disgusting. The person that you thought you loved is now your worst enemy. And you're battling for custody of your children, and you're going back and forth, and depending on how bad it gets, some couples start using the kids as collateral. It's disgusting. We had a really bad divorce, like really bad, and it nearly broke me. Well, actually, it did break me. I was in Australia for 3 months going in and out of court whilst doing my radio show from Sydney in Dubai. So I'd have to go to court in the morning in Sydney, then I'd use a studio in Sydney to do my show for the UAE. Thankfully, my company allowed me to do that for nearly 2.5 months. But again, at your lowest moment, sometimes good will come from it. So no matter how bad and how low it gets, just know the next door that opens may be a better one for you. Okay? And for me, it was this. So at my rock bottom, taking pills, I don't even know what they were. I just took what the doctor told me to take. I found a gym. I went to a gym for the first time in years, and I started exercising, and I started to get fit. And what I realized is every time I went to the gym, I would leave, and the feeling of anxiety and depression would disappear for about 2.5 hours. There was something about it. If I ran on the treadmill for 45 minutes, did some weights, I'd leave the gym and I felt good. I was like, oh, I feel like me again. This is what I want. I feel great. And then after about 2 to 3 hours, the back of your mind, it starts talking again. It's not going to last, Kris. You know, I'm coming back. I'm coming to get you. I'm going to get you. I'm coming back. And then it formed this anxiety again. I'd do it again. So I'd go back to the gym, or I'd go for a run, or I'd ride my bike. So I then realized that if I looked after my body, what I was consuming, doing some exercises, releasing those endorphins, my mind felt a lot better than it did. So I created this thing, and it was a hashtag that I just used called Fade Fit. It was just for me. That's all it was. I used to pin it on my Instagram. And then when I clicked on the hashtag one day, I realized other people using my hashtag. And it was when they were going to the gym or when they were trying to just do good things. So I was like, hold on a second, we've got a little community here. So we end up creating this. This was the beginning of Fade Fit. And it wasn't a snack company. This is 2 years before our snacks ever launched. It was a community like we are in this room of people who just wanted to feel better. And I created a morning of just nutritionists, fitness instructors, myself, and we had a day out. And all these people here connected with one another, and that's what Fade Fit began. So from my darkest moment, from the worst moment of my life, I came out and I created this, right? Now, from there, that's just over 5 years ago, it's about 6.5 years ago, we decided to create snacks. And we created one of the fastest growing snack companies now out of the Middle East. Who's tried one of my products before? Make some noise. If I didn't go through my divorce, and if I didn't have anxiety, and if I didn't have depression, I would have never created Fade Fit. And that's no word of a lie. It would have never got me to that moment. So in your darkest times, in the worst moments of your life, be it you've been fired, you just found out your partner was cheating on you, you just lost your father, your mother, your brother, things will be okay. And something good will come from it. These are our products. Put your hand up if you feel like being consistent is hard for you. Yeah, there's a lot. This is the difference between people in this room. The consistency. If you want to be a YouTuber, you got to make sure that you put your YouTube content up every single week, day, whatever it is, it needs to continue to go up. If you want to be the best real estate salesperson in the region, you got to do the same things every day. You can't stop. You have to be consistent. So even with Fade Fit and everything else that I do, the one thing that I try to remain is consistent. And without being consistent, everything else will crumble around you. Remember, these are little things that I've learned along the way. There's another tattoo that I have just on the side of my body here, which says, they tried to bury you. They didn't know you were a seed. I'll say it again. They tried to bury you. They didn't know you were a seed. So what does that mean? That, and I'm sorry to say this, your friends and your family sometimes don't want to see you succeed the way that you want to succeed. All right? And that's a really hard thing to realize. But when you realize it, makes things a little bit easier sometimes. Your friends and your family, it's not that they don't love you. And it's not that they don't want to see you shine, but they don't want to see you shine the way that you want to shine, because you have a different path sometimes. So even in those darkest moments when someone has buried you, has destroyed everything that you thought you knew about that person, you got fired, you're divorced, what, you will grow. Think of you as that seed. You will just continue to grow. The deeper they push you down, no matter how many feet under the ground, you will grow. Okay? Because when I was at my lowest moment, not being able to go into those radio studios and just having full-blown panic attacks and thinking that I was going to die and just not knowing what to do, I realized that the anxiety and the depression was something that I manifested into my mind, and it was a rolling thing. It was a snowball that just kept getting bigger. Stop that snowball. You can. You'll be okay. Things will be okay. And if someone's going through anxiety right now or depression, I want them to understand that a lot of the stuff that we think about, and I'm not a qualified, trained therapist, but everything that we're worried about hasn't happened. It's in the future that we're predicting, and that future will never happen. We're creating these really fake stories in our head that aren't actually ever going to happen. So once you realize that it's fake, you tell yourself it's fake, shut up. I'd have to shut up, Kris. Shut up. It's going to be fine. I then realized that the anxiety side and those feelings that I had, like, literally started to reduce. Remember, don't try to be famous or funny, okay? Don't do anything trying to become famous. There's people in this room that are here because they want to try to be famous. Don't do it. You will never achieve it. Just be really good at what you want to do, and it will just come with you. Got it? Got it? Because from there, opportunities will happen. I get to work with some of the biggest brands in the world. Anyone wants to buy bling? There's more of you that watch it. You just don't want to admit it. All right. Can I tell you risk? Can I talk about risk again? Why do I want to do? I had the opportunity of going on this show, right? People are like, Kris, why are you going to go on this show for? Why'd you go on the show? Kris, you're not, why'd you do that show for? It's horrible. It's great travel. Let me tell you something about that. It was a risk that I took, and I brought my wife into it, Brianna, and my kids. Now, I'll be honest with you, when you get into a reality show like this, you're not really sure what you're getting yourself into. You sign a lot of documents away. You don't know what's actually happening. We didn't even know the name of the show until it came out, like literally a couple of weeks before it came out. Then we found out what the show name was. But I took a risk. And all I told myself throughout the show, and I told my wife, I want to try to be as real and as authentic as I possibly can on this show. And for the people that watched it, did that come across? Was I me? Okay? So I took a risk, but I wanted to be able to just be me. Now, this show, can I tell you, went like #1 in 70 countries across the world. There's not a country that I go to now where I will not get stopped more than 50 times a day for this show, be it London. I just went to South Africa 2 weeks ago. The opportunities that it has brought me has been great. And one of the main reasons why I wanted to do it was to expand my brand, Kris Fade, but also Fade Fit. So now I've just signed a deal in South Africa to get all of our Fade Fits across all of South Africa, right? We just signed 400 pharmacies in Australia for Fade Fit. So now Australia will be there and there. We're in 14 countries across the GCC. And that didn't happen until that show came out. So I took a risk. I played with it. But at the end of the day, I have no regrets. And I'm so proud to say that I was on that show. And even though there'll still be people here and people that come up to me like, I didn't like the show, I don't think you should have done it. So that's okay. I'm living my life. But I went onto that show not trying to become rich, famous, or funny. I went onto that show just wanting to be me. In conclusion, there isn't one. There isn't one. We're just here. Every day, we're just here. You know? There's not, whatever happens in your life, tomorrow, the world goes on. Stop thinking so much. Stop stressing yourself out so much. Just relax. Enjoy our lives. Enjoy the moments. Enjoy your friends. Enjoy your family. Don't look at your social media and want to compete with everybody on it within your industry. Don't worry. Just enjoy who you are. Because no matter what, life will always go on with or without us. And that's really sad, but it does. And that's the real side of where we are right now. I'm out. That's it. Remember, eye contact, smile, say hello, project. Don't get into anything trying to be famous, funny, or for the money. All right? My name's Kris Fade. Thank you so much for having me.
Woo! Wow.
Gladiator Summit, I love you guys. Thank you. You don't have to stand. Now, I don't know if they do this, but are there any questions? I'm happy to answer any, if there's any questions. I don't know if you guys do this, but I got a bit of time. Yeah? All right. Do we have a rolling mic? If not, I can go down. Do we have another mic? How did I... Hold on, Adam's got the mic, maybe? There we go, we got the mic. All right. I can see you. Shout your question out.
I'm sorry to say that I'm going through what you went through. And I do need from you
hold on.
sincere advice.
I want you to project that voice. I want to hear that voice. You got a beautiful voice. Let me hear that question. I'm going to talk to her a little bit later on, right after this show, so just make sure we get her behind stage, please. All right, so any other questions? Right here at the front. Here at the front, Adam.
Today you are famous, you know, everybody wants to get clicked with you. I just manifested that I'm standing with you and the cameras are on. And it's happening, I'm very happy. But were you able to say these things when things were not well? When you were going through the divorce, that's okay, everything's going to be fine. You know, there's a stage from there to there. I want to ask you one question, that what was that at that point that made you kick, you know, that, okay, no, I'm going to do it.
Well, I'll tell you what that point was for me was two things. Number one, we touched on consistency. At no point did I quit my job. There was a moment where I thought I should leave radio and go back to Australia to be with my family because I just wasn't doing well. But I didn't allow that. I thought to myself, just keep going, Kris. So the consistency side of me kicked in. As the title of this show, Gladiator, I wanted to be a bit of a warrior.
Wow.
Like, do you know what I mean? I was like, you know what? F that. I'm going to keep going. You know, I wanted to prove it to myself and prove it to people around me. A lot of people don't want to see me succeed. You know, there's a lot of people,
I think
right?
everybody around you, you know, when you're doing good, or when you're not doing good,
Yep.
they don't want that you do better. You know, everybody is like, don't
Correct.
do this, don't do it, do the standard thing.
They don't want to see you succeed because you're part of their little circle and we're all the same, right? As soon as someone outdoes them, their friends and family, like, oh my gosh, you see what she's doing, da-da-da, 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 right? Like that's literally what happens. You become good at something, your friends and family get a little bit jealous, to tell you the truth, because that's what they wanted to do, but they just didn't have the courage to do it. So for me, it was the consistency side of things. I didn't want to give in, right? And I just wanted to make sure that I kept going with what I wanted to do. So when you tell me at that rock bottom stage, it was really that consistency side. And that tattoo that I got tattooed on me was because I read it somewhere and it resonated so much. They tried to bury me. They didn't know I was a seed. I was like, F that. No one's going to destroy me. I'm going to keep going, you know? Like that's where it comes from. Cool. All right, we'll do one more question because I don't want to take over anyone's time here. We got over here on the white, over here at the white. Thank you, Adam.
Thank you, Kris.
Yes.
My question is, can I take a picture with you on that stage?
You're trying to be famous. Yeah, come up. She's trying to be famous. Like, this is not what we wanted. What's your name?
My name is Natalia.
What do you do, Natalia?
I am medical psychologist and yoga trainer.
Ah, I could have used you.
Yes, you can. It's been for around maybe 15 years, my dream to take a picture with you.
Love that. Guys, I planted her. I paid her to say that. You guys, let's take that photo together. Let's put this up. Everyone put your hands in the air. We're going to do this together, this one right here. Here we go. You ready? 1, 2, 3. So much. Guys, hit me up on Instagram. I try to reply to most of my DMs. Okay, the young lady here before we get off. I got 90 seconds.
What is one advice you would give to a teenager who's starting their own business?
What advice would you give a teenager? All right. First thing is come up on the stage. Come up here. Slowly, slowly.
I'm your biggest fan.
Sorry?
I'm your biggest fan.
I'm your biggest fan. Okay, so what's your name?
My name is Safia.
Okay, what's your business?
It's about cosmetics.
Okay, have you started the business? Is it operating?
No, I'm planning to start.
Do you have an Instagram page?
Yeah.
What's it called?
Teen Travel Tales. It's about me.
Teen Travel Tales.
Yeah.
All right, everyone get your phone out right now. Everyone pull out your phone. I'm not joking. Everyone pull out your phone and follow right now Teen Travel
Tales.
Tales. What do you do? What is that?
It's basically me going around Dubai and vlogging and all. And yeah.
How many vlogs are you doing a week?
It's been a while since I've posted. A long while.
Okay, so you asked for advice.
Yeah.
Okay, so the first thing I'm going to say to you, is the page open? Do you guys see it? Yeah. Okay. It's got like 200 new followers. Good, see? Okay. So my advice is we'll get all these guys to follow you. But my second advice is be consistent.
Okay.
Be it once every week, once every 2 weeks, once a month, whatever you can do. Speak to your parents, you put up content.
Okay.
And it will, but you have to be consistent.
Okay.
Every week you have to do it, or every 2 weeks. You decide, but you never miss that content day.
Right.
You build your audience, right?
Yeah.
And then whatever you create, you'll be able to sell it to them, okay? Give her a big round of applause. Darush, thank you so much for having me. Thank you so much, bro. I appreciate you guys. My name's Kris Fade. Yalla bye.